James Jensen, use this one. Oh, you can use that one. James Jensen is the head of the Future Party, Science Party, excuse me, but he also heads up an alliance of progressive parties. And what Robert just said is absolutely true. We stand together united. Give me a hand. We stand together united, left and right, to say democracy shall prevail. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My name's James Jansen and I'm the leader of the Science Party, and I have a bit of an admission to make. I'm a former member of the Greens. Now, during this last few months, we heard a lot from the Greens about fairness. But the way they talk and the way they walk are very different. The Greens stand to gain substantially from these changes. In a normal Senate election, the quota is 14.3%. Nationally, they get much less than a quota. They, like many other elected representatives, depend on preferences to get elected. Scott Ludlam got less than a quota. Lee Rhiannon got less than a quota. In fact, Sarah Hanson-Young got elected on just 7.1% of the vote. That's less than half of a quota. In fact, the only Green currently in Parliament who got elected on more than a quota is Richard Di Natale. This system makes preference flows very small because most votes will exhaust. This means that the Greens, with about half a quota, will have a higher probability of election than they did previously. At the last federal election, they got 7.8% of the vote in New South Wales, and they didn't get elected. In Queensland, they got about 6% of the vote, and they didn't get elected. But under this new system, they will. And that is because the system unfairly advantages people in their particular position. This is an outrage to democracy. They got elected on a system that preserved electoral flows, preference flows to them, and now that they're in a position where they stand to gain from it, they're removing the automatic flow of preferences. When I ran in the New South Wales election in 2015, the question that I was asked the most is, who are you preferencing? But that question didn't even make sense, because in the New South Wales system, like in the system that we've just had implemented, there is no automatic flow of preferences. People were walking into that ballot booth and not understanding that their preferences wouldn't flow if they didn't number more than one above the line. Now, the Greens could have argued at the time that they were passing this legislation to give the AEC sufficient resources to advise the people about how the system worked, but they didn't do that. No, instead, they plan to run an election where most people won't understand how the system works. How can we respect the outcome of an election where nobody knows how voting works? How can we respect the outcome of an election where, how can we respect a proportional election where a massive proportion of votes are simply thrown away and it numbers in the millions? We cannot. Now, this isn't all about the Greens, although if the Liberals do get control of the Senate, we will be blaming them. But the Liberal Party are not sticking to their own principles. They will not pass marriage equality, and whatever you think about this, they believe that this is such an important proposal that it has to go to a referendum, it has to go to a plebiscite. But on one of the most important issues to our nation, our very democracy, they refuse to go to a plebiscite about this issue. No, they want to change our electoral system so it suits them, without reference to what the people want. Our objection to this system is that currently elected members of Parliament are deciding how the next round get elected, and that is a real shame. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James.
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye for now.